highvolumemusicradio.com. The Business Knowledge Broker Hour.
Hey, yo, Guru, you ready?
Business, marketing, accounting, social media, resources, strategies, tips, events. The Business Knowledge Broker Hour.
It's just savage business.
Grants, funding, capital, life
insurance,
annuities, finances, tax tips, strategies, music, business, local spotlights, business highlights, leadership, entrepreneurship. The Business Knowledge Broker Hour. highvolumemusicradio.com.
And let's talk about spreading the love. This guy here, I bring y'all greatness every week. And I'm just so glad that he's here in the studio with me. And he has blessed the business guru with his presence. Mr. Frankie Mohammed, how are you?
Hey, good evening. I'm so happy to be here, especially since you juiced me up with that big intro, the greatness. I'm like, well, I came today, so she must, you know what I'm saying?
This is what I'm talking about. But
yeah.
This is the thing, you've been sitting in on the studio. You and I have hung out on a couple of occasions at some community events and stuff. So you see, this is me.
Mm-hmm.
This is me. This is my Sunday night element, and I love the space that I'm in because it gives me an opportunity to help someone. But the thing about it is, I give visibility, through radio and YouTube and Facebook exposure. You do it in photograph form.
Right. Well, like I said, I love seeing you here, chopping it up with Houston's finest, right, in the evening. And yeah, the way I do get involved in it is by taking pictures. And I'll tell you a little bit about me, since I guess you haven't had me here too much before.
No, we gotta have you in the space
just
more
in a real simple way. Oh, hey everybody. I got involved taking pictures in the niche that I love. It just the Houston art scene with artists. We're talking about your painters, okay, your poets, these kind of things. And so I want to mention a couple of people as we're getting through it, right? So I'm over here at this. I'm shooting at a poetry event, and it's one of my favorite Houston poets. Her name is Sad Renee, and it's her event. She's on stage and shooting everything. And at this event, it was like during the domestic violence month, right? So we're talking these months, October, November. And I met Miss Yumika there. Yeah. And you know how she's involved with Reviving and Restoring Pearls and so on and so on. And so we caught up at their event. I'm the current
interim CEO.
Okay, so as you see, this is a small world where everyone's getting so connected, right?
Yep.
And this kind of way, I've gotten to meet just so many movers and shakers in the community. All right, we're talking about art people, community activist people, health and fitness people, I really feel like the best and the brightest of what Houston has to offer, and I get to take pictures. Lucky me, right? So I'm there for all that, and that landed me here today in your hot seat, as you called it. You know what I'm saying?
But the thing about it, it's hot because I got hot entrepreneurs. They bring that hot knowledge, and I love you talked about Saturday. That book is awesome.
Oh, you know about that book?
I have that book.
Okay, yeah.
I have that book. A great friend, Hope Watkins, let me borrow that book, so I was able to, snatch it. I saw it on her table. I said, that is not a coffee book. That is a book to be treasured. She said, yes, I know. I said, well, do you mind if I read it? And because I read the first few pages, and I was like, can I borrow this? And she was like, you borrow it, but you buy it. I said, not a problem. And she let me borrow the book, and I bought a copy for myself. And I was able to return her book. I love it.
Well, let me tell you what about her book. It's a lot of these poetry books, right? It's not like you can sit down and read them cover to cover, as they say. You know how it is, right? You can go through it in sections and pieces and stuff, but you'll find your favorite poets out there. And with hers, it's a good poem book, or however you call it, right? You only read one or two at a time. All right, that's enough.
Yeah.
I cannot.
Yeah, you got to put it down.
Yeah.
It took me about a week, I think, to go through the whole book. And then, look, she has some poems in there that I was like, man, they need to be poster size on a wall. Just as a reminder to people. So, you know what? Shout out to Sarah Renee. You guys get that book. You know, I'm gonna post it up on, you know, High Volume Music Radio's Facebook page, Instagram. Same thing for the Business Entrepreneur Hour. You guys get that book. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take a picture with that book, holding it up, so you guys can see it.
There we go.
But it's amazing, and I love the fact that you're involved in the community, and you're everywhere. You know, I thought as business guru, I'm everywhere. You are everywhere, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it because, you know, now how is it? I'm at a comedy show. And I'm just sitting in the VIP section because, you know, it's COVID and I need my space.
Right.
And here come Frankie taking pictures. I said, look at Frankie, look at smart. Look, Frankie just walked through the place. He owned it.
Yeah.
People was turning their heads looking at Frankie. I said, okay.
I felt bad because, you know, I look good when I go in places, right? And I seen they had the whole crew up there. And look, it's not even my show, right?
Right.
When I come in, I know, like, I'm looking so good, right? I mean, excuse me, I'm looking so good. And I'm like, no, I can't be, you know, because I'm taking pictures, right? So, you know, my one camera makes a lot of noise, and I'll switch to the cell phone sometimes, just for convenience, because, you know, when I do really pull up somewhere to capture the scene, I really think about the performance on stage, you know, who's up there, what are their goals and everything. I do not want to be stealing the limelight, honestly. I know I do sometimes, right? But like, let's say I do a yoga class or something, right? There's a couple yoga teachers that I shoot for here in Houston, and one of them's real particular. He goes, now, let's not ruin that vibe, okay? And I'm like, all right, so just it's really about, you know, massaging that customer.
No, I love
and really taking care of them. And,
I love
you know,
it.
whatever the scene is. So it's a lot of different, you know, places you get into, but at the end of the day, someone needs to have that moment captured. They need to have their minute, and for a very specific purpose every time it happens.
Well, I have to say that I love it because, you know, it's not only that you go there and you capture these great shots and this video and the awesome video editing that you do, but you also are there and it brings awareness. Every time you post something, I'm like, you know, I text Frankie, like, hey, can you give me a heads up? I would have headed to the north side of Houston today, you know. But I love it because it brings visibility to events and organizations that people don't know about, especially the things that you guys have going on. You know, I know you help a lot with Shape Community Center, and, you know, they do the Feed the Homeless. They do the yoga on Sundays at 11 a.m., Emancipation Park. You know, you guys have great things that, you know, that you're a part of, and that people invite you to those spaces. And I love the fact that you get to share them.
So let me tap into quite a few of those different ones that you mentioned, because there's a lot of good things going on, and I want to tie this in a little bit to what Dr. Lulu was talking about, because, you know, you say there's like generational stuff happening with people, and it goes on and on and on and on. And well, guess what? You know, it might not be that people that are in your immediate family are probably the best therapists out there, the best, you know what I mean? So it's okay to reach out, and with that being said, I'll talk about some community stuff. So we do have resources now. I'm involved. I volunteer with this community group called ONPU. It's called All Neighborhoods Powerfully United. And so if I were a person who maybe just avoided therapy at all costs and all these kind of things, is there something I could do, maybe to getting involved in my community to help out, to give myself a little something nice, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why not? Why not reach out and get involved with the community group? It ain't gonna hurt anybody, you know, it's gonna do something good. And so one of the things that we do with the community, we'll do a community cleanup, like literally just pick up trash in the community and stuff, but it sets an example, you know, it's a precedent for people to you know, do better. One of the things that we talk about there is, you know, be the change that you want to see, right?
Yeah.
So what did I do today? It's Sunday. In the first half of the day, I was going around my little space and picking up trash and like doing, because, you know, it'd be silly of me to go picking up everybody else's trash, but like, you know, me and my own place, you have to, like, you know, live that example that you're setting for everybody else too, right?
Love it.
So I was, you know, doing my trash pickup today, you know, garbage day tomorrow morning. So, but yeah, so let me tell you about ONPU. We have social media accounts. So that's going to be, everything is going to be the same. It's going to be at ANPUFEED. That's ONPU Feed. That's going to be on Facebook. So facebook.com/ONPU Feed. We have a Twitter page too, just in case, you know, Twitter pops off again for us. So it's twitter.com/ONPU Feed. Same thing on Instagram.com/ONPU Feed. And I, you know, just really, if people just want to get involved in something, go ahead. We got on the 14th of November, I believe, coming up. We're doing a Feed the Homeless thing, but we're also giving them some clothes, and we have speakers there that give some encouragement. I remember last time we did a homeless feeding. You know, there's people out there. Let me tell you about the homeless, man. People don't treat them. You know, they very much disregarded. You know what I'm saying? And you'll see somebody out there having some kind of episode or a hard time, but on the occasions you can be there to just talk to them for a little bit and kind of give them that moment to feel like a whole human person again. You know, they'll tell you their story or something like that, but if that's the one thing that this person needs that day to feel like, hey, I got a meal, I got somebody to talk to, I got to feel, you know, maybe I can take that next step to do something better, or at least make it to that next day, you know, because it's hard out there. Shoot, there's so many people out there that during these COVID times, you know, lost jobs or had hard money times, man. Look, there's a lot of people that are 2 weeks away from being homeless themselves. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. One check away. You said it right. You said it right.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Well, all I have to say is I encourage people during this time, you know, to give where you can. And especially if you're an entrepreneur right now, you need to be giving back to the community that pays you, basically. You know, that's the community to make sure that your kids get those karate lessons and ballet lessons online. So let's make sure that we're giving back. And I'm glad that you talked about like feeding the homeless and stuff like that, because people feel like, oh, you know, you have the local food banks, that kind of thing. Yeah, but people have to be able to get to the food banks, you know. So I love the fact that you guys do that community feeding. And, you know, they need volunteers. So, you know, hey, call to action for the High Volume Music Radio listeners. Call to action, okay? Get involved with that November 14th feeding. You know, and when you come out there, bring a coat, scarf, gloves, and socks. Okay? You know, let's not just feed the homeless. Let's make sure they're warm. As a matter of fact, you know what? The Joseph Consulting Firm, we're going to help you with that effort as well. So what I'm going to do, and it's a call to action, and I'm sure my team tomorrow is going to call me later tonight and say, okay, what did you do?
Here we go.
Well, I did a thing.
Here we go.
Okay, call to action. Let's collect those scarves and blankets and coats, and let's bring those out there for the community. And the thing about it is, you don't have to wait until a special day to drop those things off. If you're riding through downtown Houston, Southwest Houston, and you see an underpass, you see someone there, if you have a coat, give them a coat. You know, it's very simple. We have to remember that at the end of the day, we're all a part of one thing called human, you know, and that could be our, you know, mother, brother, father, sister, cousin, grandpa, you know, aunt, you know, anybody, best friend that's out there. A lot of times people, you're right, they do disregard the homeless. But the thing about it is, it doesn't matter what reason, we're here to help. You know, so I did a thing, Joseph Consulting Firm, and I'm putting it out there to the High Volume Music Radio listeners. I'm here every Sunday, so if you need to drop off a coat or blanket, hey, let's do it. If I got to pitch up a box at anywhere around town, you know, where I can just label it and say, hey, we're doing coats. If you know someone, hit me up at the studio, 713-733-4867. I put that out to anyone that's listening. So let's get it done. Let's join this great organization. Let's get some work in for Houston.
That's amazing. That's also setting a really great example, because sometimes people just need to know, I can do this too. Okay, I'll see somebody taking the lead. So that's wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, we have to look at it. If we are telling people during COVID-19 to assist our neighbor, they're our neighbors too.
Oh yeah, I heard y'all talking about getting to know your neighbors.
Getting to know your neighbors.
Man, let me tell you what. I just left my neighborhood, but you know, I finally got to that stage in life where you know your back fence neighbor, you know your next door neighbor, the guy across the street, and look, this lady invited me over for drinks, and she's such a sweet lady. The lady and she's actually a customer of my mom's business down there in Pasadena. You know, so it's like once you start get it that building up your actual local community, like your literal neighbors. You know, you can see how much that pours back in to you. Oh, yeah. So literally, the lady across the street from me, you know, a customer of my family's business. The guy next door to him, so nice. Him and his wife, they invited me over for dinner sometimes too. You know, it's like it really feels good getting involved with that neighborhood and just like you you're coming home to like friends and family, and it's like it includes literally the people that are the closest to you. It's so nice.
Well, you know, I have to say, I never knew until COVID how many kids lived on my block.
Oh my goodness.
I have to say that. It's like I'm used to seeing 2 kids out there with a basketball hoop, you know, and then like when COVID hit and the kids were doing like the half day and they get out at like 12, 1 o'clock and I saw these kids playing in the street with masks on. I'm like, oh wait, there are little kids on this block too, not just the two high schoolers and the one that graduated next door. I never knew that. And it's so amazing. And like you talking about, like the neighbors, invite you over for drinks. Now I could say this: they do not invite me over for drinks, but they will make my mom a plate of food.
Okay.
They'll make her a plate of food. They'll forget about me and brother in the scene. And dad, they'll forget about us. But mom always gets a plate. Yeah, that's nice. Never fails.
That's like my dad's across the street neighbor. He always makes him a plate of food.
Yeah.
Every holidays.
And that's the thing. Like that's why I was telling Dr. Lou, like for me, I try to find that beauty in the day. I'll go hang out at the Japanese garden. I'll go to the botanicals. I'll go to the sculpture garden. I'll try to find something every day that reminds me, like, okay, I'm here and I can serve a purpose in some way. So I'm glad that you said for people to tap in and do that.
Well, that's on the mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where we're at right now.
Well, I love it because I've seen the things that you've done from, you were telling me earlier about the great shoots. And then I love that you did the rites of passage, thing, the birthday parties and the different community organizational stuff. And wait, look, this is how cool Frankie is, okay? Frankie would go to a pop-up shop and request models, okay? He's at a pop-up shop. Hey, this person needs some models. They got some great clothes. I'm finna take some pictures. Where are the models? And I'm sitting at home like...
Yeah, go ahead.
Man, I said, man, look at those masks. Look at the fabric. Oh, wow. And I'm just living vicariously through Frankie's life because at that point, I just got home, put on my bag, and took off my shoes.
Well, look, let me tell you. So... Yeah, when you take pictures, you gotta be around that crowd, and the fashion and art, and they're all like the same people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Any one of us might be expressing art in a poem one day, and then in the second or third thing that we do in another way. I mean, I do take pictures, but maybe I like to write some poems, or maybe I'll be doing videos some other time. I won't always be in this kind of way.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I really I love like fabrics and sewing, fashion, this kind of thing, right? Because it all interplays well together. And so there's a really great shop here in Third Ward. It's called Chisa's Sewing Shop Collection, really directly across the street from Emancipation, right there off of Francis. Okay, and like you didn't know that there was a thing like this. Like there was a 24-hour like sewing studio for like all your emergency and whatever like sewing needs and sewing classes. But she's there like all day, every day, just working. Making clothes and teaching a really vital skill, but she's doing it in a fun way. So
that's great.
One of the things that I had always done was shot at these sip and paint events, and these get like really creative. Some of them will have black lights or like all kind of things, right?
Yeah.
And so Miss Chisa applied that to a sewing event, right? So it was really great. It was project based. Was enough people in there for like the machines, so responsible social, like literally everyone had a mask because hello, you're in a sewing shop, you cannot not have them, right?
Yeah, I saw the video.
Yeah, we were all
she was
set
safe.
up. And it was just a really wonderful, like I think value added experience that you can have like look right here in Third Ward, you know what I'm saying? And I think I had a great time. Look, it was an adult, environment.
Yeah.
The sip was definitely happening. The music was going live. I mean,
nothing wrong with that.
I had a bunch of great shots. I still haven't even processed everything yet because it was boom, 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 back to the next thing.
Yeah.
The following morning, we were doing an education event, and this wonderful lady, Miss Angela Johnson, she runs a home education center, right? And very much like if you caught the live a little bit, they talked about really the importance of education and the quality of what the kids are getting, right?
Yeah.
Because now I know I got to go to school here in Pasadena, and it's only like till 2020 I'm finding out about a lot of things that probably should have been, like really important education, historical pieces that seem to have gotten left out, or perspective, a lot of perspective, you know what I'm saying, if I'm being nice about it. A lot of perspective stuff,
that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, fine, hey, we got the internet now and all that stuff. But, so it was a really good moment for education yesterday, and I think it's called the Kids Academy of Cultural Intelligence, and they're, ramping up really strongly, so I'm really happy about what I see going on.
Yeah, I love it. So if you see the Casey shirts, and I love it, it's big and bold on their t-shirts everywhere they go, because you see those little girls, okay? You see them, and you see the adults, because I've seen them out and about, and it's like, okay, where are they going? Like, I love it, because it really takes a village nowadays. And like you said, I never knew that there is a 24-hour sewing shop emergencies right here in Houston. Okay, now she might get upset about that, but I want her on the show.
Right, yeah, let's get her set up,
like,
you know, and
I don't even care. I will go to her location and broadcast live.
Hey, that'll be fun. And
that way she don't have to leave.
Do it Fridays. It's Friday nights. She's getting it set up.
Okay.
You know,
what time usually does she have on Fridays?
7 to 9, something like that. It stayed later actually, so I mean it was a really good. I mean, I don't know what to say. We had some beginners. I wasn't sewing myself. Like I was taking pictures and drinking.
I've
to be
never
honest, like having a good
anything.
time. Hey, but you can learn. She does beginner classes and everything.
I've never sewn a thing. Like I usually have my mom like sew a button on or something for me. I've never sewn anything. And if you need a great business plan, financial plan, an app, you know, Candace Joseph got you. Right. But if you want me to sew something, I don't know.
Well, it's so easy. Let me tell you what. If you can drive a car, you can sew.
You can sew?
You can sew.
All right.
Let's see forward and back action. You got to close up them stitches.
Oh, Frankie's making me feel smart today. Okay. All right. That'll work. But I love it because I see the different areas and different people through your lives, through you just being out and about. And you're a comedian, sir, just to let you know.
Oh, no. The only comedian I know, excuse me, you know who he is. All right.
Shout out to Mr. Leo Rich. You know, all I think I have to say is I hung out with Leo Rich today, and we had a great time. We had a great time.
You seen Leo today?
And yeah, saw Leo today.
Oh,
we had a great time today and just kind of hung out and just talked business and just talk life. So it was great. And he has another event coming up November the 7th. So I'm going to post that as well. You guys, you know, go out and show support to great comedians. You know, on Friday I met some great comedians. I met MC Lotto, you know, comedian Rich Williams. I met Joe Jeff. I met Tam Tam. You know, I met some great people this weekend. So I have to say, you know, everybody know the business guru can be a little bit of a hermit. So it felt good to get out and just to hang out and laugh and have a good time. And if anybody's down there that's listening, if you go to Galveston, Texas, go to the Victorian Seafood Bistro. It's inside the Victorian Townhomes down in Galveston. When I say, you know, Mr. Jimmy Dillard is an amazing chef. All of the food was great. It smelled great. And I met some great people. So I love it because, you know, Frankie be posting stuff and I'm like, oh, yeah, I need to go to that. So I'm going to keep that energy going. And I'm glad to have someone like you in the community. And thank you for being my friend.
Hey, you know, I don't know how we so happened to meet each other on that boat ride. You know
on the boat ride for Revival Restoring Pearls.
You know, when you're out doing good, you know, I think good's going to find you in some kind of way. And so we'll just keep rocking with that, you know. Next big event I have, I'll tell you if you're going to catch me, is November the 11th at the Amber Neal Day event where they're going to be commemorating Miss Yumika, right?
Yes, Yumika, you know, Miss Yumika, Miss Cassandra Fry, you know, Miss Kanisha Fry, Mr. you know, Damon Coleman, and of course their current interim CEO, Candace Joseph. You know, we are a part of Revival Restoring Pearls, and they do great work in the community. And I have to say big ups to Amber Neal for, you know, not only honoring Revival Restoring Pearls and for allowing that fundraiser benefit to happen, but also in the space of all of the great entrepreneurs that, you know, she's honoring. You know, who knows, somebody need to put out a call to Amber Neal and tell her that I need to be an honoree for next year's, you know, Amber Neal Day. You never know. You know, you never know. They might want to give me something one day in the city of Houston.
I feel like, you know, you're on that
I'm on that trajectory.
Yeah.
Woo, woo. Frankie said it, so that means you guys need to make sure that you go out there and spread the greatness about the business guru. But I'd say, Frankie, thank you for being who you are. And I want you to give those social media handles again so that the listeners of High Vibe Music Radio can know where to tap in and be a part of all of the great things.
Okay, I'm going to give y'all, I don't know how much time you got, but just pay real good attention here. All right, so all the community stuff is going to be on Poo Feed, right? ANPUFEED, and that's mainly going to be on Facebook and Instagram. So if you've got it in you to volunteer and just do good and go out and do good in Houston, all right, do that and we'll get you set up. And Gmail also, you can send them a Gmail, onpoofeed@gmail.com. And then for me and my stuff, right, if you need pictures, right, I deal with good people, right, so don't be coming at me if you want some shady stuff. But so good people come at me with good big old coins right here on my social media. It's going to be frankiemo.hd at Instagram, right? That's FRANKIEMO.HD. And that's where you can get at me on Instagram. And on Facebook, you can find me, facebook.com, Frankie and that's with an IE, FRANKIE .Mohammed, MOHAMMED. You're gonna find I'm the most handsome Frankie Mohammed out there. I'll tell you what, I searched for all of them. There's like three. There's three. So it's another guy in New York, one in Canada. Right? I had to make sure.
Love
I had
it.
to make sure. So I'm the best looking one so far.
You know, look, this is why I love what I do. See, I just get to hang out with amazing people here in the studio, play some good music, play some good commercials, and just go in. Only thing I have to say, as with each and every Sunday, you know, the Business Guru would like to thank everyone that was a part of today's show. I want to thank all of my guests, you know, Steady Grinding Riders. I want to thank DJ Luscious Ice. I want to thank Lakeisha Billingsley. I want to thank Brandy Neurals. I want to thank Frankie Mohammed. I want to thank Dr. Lulu. Thank you for all those that have watched on Facebook and YouTube. And I definitely want to say, man, big ups to Greg in the studio. For those that do not know, Gregory Joseph is the videographer of the Joseph Consulting Firm. He's also responsible for my YouTube page as well. And, you know, he does great things in the spaces of making sure that when we put together these, videos for the guests that come in, that their greatness is shown on film. So big ups to Greg. Somebody bring Greg a plate over here at High Volume Music Radio. Oh, he said bring two, because he got to take care of his big sister. He said he got to take care of big sister Candace and make sure that she is fed. But the only thing I have to say is that in 2021, we will be hitting up that yoga at Emancipation Park, 11 a.m. on Sundays, and we will be getting more, you know, we're tapping into our neighborhood. But you know what? It's that 9 o'clock hour, baby. So you know what I'm going to say? CEO out.
HighVolumeMusicRadio.com. The business knowledge broker out.
Hey, yo, Guru, you ready?
Business, marketing,